Respected Professor E. Balagurusamy sir, dear principals, directors, industry mentors, faculty members, and students, very good morning to one and all. It gives me great pleasure to be a part of this historic event of eBox colleges, where we are going to inaugurate the first set of startup studios. And it's my privilege to welcome Professor E. Balagurusamy, the renowned academician, former Vice Chancellor, Anna University, former member, Union Public Service Commission, who have kindly consented to inaugurate our first set of startup studios in eBox colleges. We all know very well that eBox colleges is an initiative. eBox colleges is an initiative of Amphisoft Technologies, where the artificial intelligent eBox platform is used in the academic campuses to use technology to impart knowledge, skilling, and to make the students to develop products. And in continuation to, as a part of our vision, we were supposed to start the startup studios in every campus, which will involve all the stakeholders of the campus, namely students, faculty members, industry mentors, funding agencies, and so on. The idea is to give space for the students to convert their ideation into products and product building. So instead of expecting a job from the employers, the students will start developing their own products and become entrepreneurs, so much so that they'll be able to give jobs to others. We have proposed 30 startup studios from eBox colleges in all 4 campuses, namely in United Institute of Technology, Kadir College of Engineering, Sri Shanmuga College of Engineering and Technology, and Sudarshan Engineering College, Pudukkottai. So out of 30 studios, today we are going to witness the inauguration of first set of 5 startup studios that is done by the most wanted, most sought after renowned academician, the pride of Tamil Nadu, Professor E. Balagurusamy sir. And before requesting Professor, I would like to give a brief introduction of the chief guest. Of course, there are few people in our country who do not need any introduction. As a matter of protocol, I would like to introduce Professor E. Balagurusamy, who was formerly Vice Chancellor, Anna University, Chennai, IT Advisor, Government of Andhra Pradesh, Member Planning Commission, Tamil Nadu, Member Union Public Service, New Delhi, Chairman Consortium for Educational Communication, New Delhi. Professor Balagurusamy was born in a humble village of Tamil Nadu, who was risen to greater heights because of his education, hard work, and perseverance. He had his education from Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, and from United Kingdom. He has devoted himself to promoting technical education, particularly computer education and training in the country for the last 3 decades in all his various endeavors. Professor Balagurusamy, as he is fondly referred to as EBG, was the IT advisor to many states, including Andhra Pradesh, Punjab, Rajasthan, and so on. Professor has initiated many steps to implement IT applications in government administration and public undertakings. His initiatives became the foundation stones for many e-governance projects in Andhra Pradesh. As a prolific writer, Professor has authored more than 40 books on IT and computers. Many of them are prescribed as texts in universities and colleges throughout India. Some of his books have been translated into Hindi, Mandarin, Spanish, Korean, and Russian languages. He is considered as Asia's leading IT authors. He has widely traveled across the globe. He has visited UK, USA, Europe, Singapore, China, Thailand, Mexico, and UAE. His main areas of professional interest include object-oriented technology, expert systems, business process reengineering, technology management, e-business, e-governance, management of change, and strategic management. Professor is a proud recipient of many awards and honors. So having been involved in many e-governance projects and having introduced artificial intelligence in e-governance, there could be no other better person to inaugurate the artificial intelligence technology-enabled startup studios of e-box colleges. So I take immense pleasure in requesting the chief guest to kindly inaugurate the startup studios of e-box colleges. Professor, please.
Okay. Great.
Can you please scroll it down a little? Yeah. So thank you very much, Professor Balagurusamy sir, for kindly inaugurating the startup studios of e-box colleges. Now I would kindly request the chief guest to have the inaugural address.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible, sir. Please.
Okay. Thank you very much for inviting for such a unique program, and I would like to thank my colleagues at e-box college for having started such a unique initiative, startup studios in 5 engineering colleges. So one of the path-breaking initiative to have engineering colleges this kind of initiative. In fact, one of the important goals of engineering education is to make our Indian youth as an entrepreneurship. They make them creative, innovative individuals and become entrepreneurs when they come out of the colleges. And to that extent, I think this initiative is going to be a very, very important initiative where during their own study days, they will be able to be part of a startup, and then when they come out, they will become almost an entrepreneur with a very good investment. This is something which is every college should have it actually. In fact, when I was a vice chancellor of Anna University, in fact, I sent a circular to all colleges to have an innovative lab. Every college should have an innovation lab, 24 hours open, where boys can walk into the lab and do whatever they feel like. At the end of the day, they come out with some ideas, and maybe later on they become a product and services. And that didn't materialize most of the colleges, but now I am very, very happy that e-box colleges have started that initiative. This is very, very important today because of the most of our engineering colleges output. Industry, most of the industry say that they are not employable because they lack creativity, they lack innovative skills, and they lack even thinking skills. Basic thinking skills are not there. So this initiative will provide them enough opportunity to become a creative, innovative individual, and then really concentrate on a particular idea to make it a product. In fact, everybody should work for a social engineering. In fact, my idea is they should look for a social engineering, identify the problems society facing today, and come out with a solution and make it as a product or services at the end of the period you come out of the colleges. And that should be the aim of every engineer, every research scholar in this country today. If we can make a research society oriented, if we identify a problem and product society oriented, and develop it and make it happen when you come out of the college, I think that will be a great contribution to the socio-economic development of the country today. And everybody looking for employment, and somebody has to create employment, So this is one of the pathbreak initiative. I would like to congratulate e-box authorities, e-box, my colleague at e-box college and Ambisoft, and I hope these engineering colleges will make use of these facilities to the fullest extent. It all depends upon their commitment, their involvement, their dedication, and to make it happen there. It's very easy to start, inaugurate a particular event, to make it happen. And everybody has to work, and everybody has to commit, and everybody has to have a vision for it. And I hope the college principals and the students and the college management and everybody will cooperate and make it happen. I know large number of things we initiated, but ultimately never see the end of it. And this should not happen like this in this particular event. And all managements of these colleges should extend all support possible there and make your students and entrepreneurs at the end of come out of the colleges there. And that is what we need. India needs more entrepreneurs rather than more people seeking for employment. And E-Box College are doing a wonderful job. And I hope they will extend this facility to all the colleges in Tamil Nadu, because a lot of colleges, they will not have enough infrastructure, enough people to think what is right and what is wrong. I think E-Box College initiative will ignite them. And for this initiative will ignite everybody in Tamil Nadu colleges and see that they also look for such opportunities and make engineers more creative, more innovative, and become entrepreneurs and provide employment opportunity and contribute socio-economic growth of the country there. With these viewers, I would like to thank the E-Box College authorities for having invited me to this wonderful inauguration, and I wish all of you a great success in achieving the end results actually. See, I always look for end results. Starting is so easy, but end results are very, very important there. I think everybody has to work together to see that we reach the goal. And that will be a satisfaction for every one of us. Not only E-Box colleges, for management, principal, but all the students, but ultimately the society will benefit out of your efforts. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best. Good luck.
Thank you so much, sir. So we are very indebted to your wonderful advice. As you rightly mentioned, this kind of initiative will fill the gap of employability skills. This is going to be one of the path-breaking initiatives where this will nurture the design thinking skills of the students. So as you rightly advised, we are committed to that. We will ensure the equal participation of all stakeholders in the campus, and we will ensure that we will make it happen. So our graduates will be coming out with product developments in the years to come, and we will stand by your words. Thank you once again. Now I'll request Dr. Pradeep Kumar, who is the Chief Innovation Officer of Amphisoft Technologies, to have few words about the vision behind Startup Studios. You can kindly unmute.
Thank you, Balagurusamy sir. It was a wonderful encouragement from your side. So it's really a honor for all of us to have you a part of this event. And then, in fact, we have been very fortunate to keep taking your advices in this journey. Again, thanks to Bala for anchoring this. To start with, basically, we all know India has a huge talent and a huge interest in the talent pool. Many students whom I have met in colleges, I always felt many of them had the caliber to kind of build their own product and start their own company. For example, today, even if you look at the major companies like Microsoft. So basically, Microsoft, they were focused on only two things. One is the operating system, and the second part is the Office, that is Microsoft Office. So it's only, we can call it as two products or two softwares that they focused on. And then if you look at Oracle, so their focus was completely on building a database. And today, if you look at Oracle, they're fully associated with that one particular product. And then even if we consider a company like Google, so their single product which became so big as on day was a search engine actually. If you look at Amazon, they were completely focused on selling books. And today, after 20 years, that is what has evolved into such a huge online retail market. So if everybody focus on one single product and then sustain with that product, sustain with that idea, a product will evolve, and that will evolve into a company. And if the company still focuses more on that product and tries to expand it, and that's where it grows big, and that's where it will start attracting more and more investors. So in India, what's happening is there are so many youngsters who, after completing the graduation, they try to take up, try something with respect to a company or a startup. But most of the time, around 95% of the startups fail. There are many reasons for the startups to fail, because it takes some time for these youngsters to come together, have a thorough understanding among themselves, because they just jump into starting a company, and then they lack that understanding among themselves. And then there's a huge societal pressure on them and parental pressure on them. Like, even though that they would like to work together and develop a product, so what happens is some of their friends will be placed in another corporate, and they would have been placed for a salary pack of 10 lakhs or 6 lakhs kind of thing. And normally they have huge pressure that would come from parents, because having completed a degree course, if they don't focus on earning money, and if they are at home just trying to build a product, if they don't earn that salary, then they start comparing it with some of their friends. The parents start scribbling, telling them, see, one of your friend is working in Infosys, another friend is working in TCS, he has purchased one house in Chennai, he has purchased a car in Bangalore. So all these kind of gossips comes in, and this adds a lot of pressure on the students. And at last, they try to wind it up, and then they go back to a corporate. They also go in search of a job. So almost 90 to 95% of startups are facing this issue in India. So although Prime Minister has been trying to give a huge push with Startup India model, but the thing is, we need to have a structural framework to take it forward and make it more and more successful. And then our students, they have been kind of hypnotized for past 15, 20 years, that they think that, okay, studying engineering is just to get a job in a company. So they think that the success point comes with getting a job in a company. But that is not the success point for graduation. So 4 years of engineering is such a huge amount of time, which they can always put it into proper use. If they gain the knowledge, get skilled up during those 4 years, they can really build a product. 4 years is a huge amount of time for students. So they have enough time to kind of understand the concepts, get skilled up with relevant skills, and then build products, take it to the market. So 4 years period is not a small time to just move away with a placement in a service-based company or a product company. So there's a lot many things that you can do during this 4 years is our idea actually. And that's the reason we were very much sure when we evolved this concept of e-box colleges, that we wanted our students to become job givers rather than job takers. And we have experienced this. It is not that we just like that jump into the well and say, okay, come, let's all start a company. So what we have really done is we have experienced ourselves in developing products, in taking it to the market, sustaining in business, in understanding the cost economics, in understanding how to bootstrap a company, or in understanding, okay, what are all the mechanisms to bring in funds, and in understanding how to respond to different times, okay, that occurs in the market. For example, now suddenly COVID comes, so immediately we try to change the dynamics of our entire operations. So we have been, in fact, experiencing each and every moment for past 10 years. And we know the nuances of developing products quickly, that means rapidly. And we have also learned the nuances of taking the product to the market and converting that into business. And the most important aspect is the ecosystem that is currently in place. There are students who are so much interested to get skilled. And then on the other side, we also have very good teachers who are also been kind of teaching courses in different campuses for 5 years, 10 years. And I have also been a teacher. And our idea has been that we need to create a good amount of wealth, okay, both for teachers and students. I think the amount of time that we spend in education, almost for 16 years, like first standard to 12th standard, and then 4 more years, so 12 plus 4, 16 years. That is a lot of time which we have spent in education, and it should not just end by just taking up a job in a company and purchasing a one-bedroom flat in a city. It should be something beyond that, actually. So the 16 years of education should lead to better outcomes. And as Balagurusamy sir said, we should look at problems in the society and find out what are all the problems that requires a solution, and how can that solutions be supported through technology and engineering. So that is how the products are being envisaged. We will work on most of the students' observation skills and problem identification skills, and how to kind of solution the problem, and then convert that into products. Actually, so when we say that we are going to start these studios, it is not that we just come out with a list of ideas and then we ask the students to do it. This also involves industry mentors and industry ideators. So just like you in final year today, there were lakhs of people who passed out their graduation 20 years back, and at that point of time, taking up a job in a kind of company in TCS or Infosys or Wipro, that was considered to be a great achievement at that point of time. And most of us ended in these companies. But after 15 or 20 years in these companies, okay, and most of them are now looking back and they are trying to introspect on the journey that they followed, and they feel that after 20 years, is it a great thing to have worked for 20 years, and is that a great achievement? Instead, they in this particular journey, they also had lot of ideas that would have come up because they had met a lot of clients, they would have dealt with different types of projects. And one thing is they were very busy in serving the client and in ensuring that the organization is excelling in which they are working. So they have also been doing a great service. But on the other hand, something has been left out in their heart and in their mind, that they lost something in these 20 years. That is converting their own ideas into a product, and then converting that into a company, converting that into a business, actually. And everybody, most of them with 15 years, 20 years of experience, they all have a feeling in the corner of their mind that they could have done better, actually. So it is in this context, many of these experienced people in industry, they all have been kind of trying to work with us with certain ideas in initiating startups. And then we have also been working on creating accelerated framework. So when I say accelerated framework, this is a technology framework. So what we do is, we have been exploring technology and engineering for past 1 year, basically with respect to the recent web framework, or recent frameworks on cloud, or recent engineering evolution that is moving towards Industry 4.0. We have been, for example, we had 20 mechanical engineers in our space who have been building humanoids here, and who have been working on the different design models and the different control mechanisms for humanoid robots. Likewise, another team of members have been working on quadcopters. So they have been working for past 7 to 8 months. And we have also been working on how to kind of indigenously develop different components that are needed to create all these products and evolve different companies out of it. So it is again, as Balagurusamy sir mentioned, all these initiatives should not be with respect to an inauguration or just creating some noise. So it should be, it should get into a logical and a successful endpoint. So there shouldn't be an endpoint, but there should be a successful level to which we should achieve. So we have done our base homework before we started mentioning that we wanted to come up with startup studios for eBox colleges. So these homework and these frameworks that we have built, it is going to bring in a huge amount of acceleration in our startup studios, where now we have the ideators from corporate background, and we bring in industry tech mentors, so who also have 10 years, 15 years of experience in building or dealing with technology. And then we have the students ecosystem, youngsters, young minds, whom we will be able to skill them up very quickly. And then the teachers. Okay, so last but not the least, teachers are the one who have been continuously kind of sacrificing and all these years, and they have been many of them are highly capable people. So this entire initiative was also towards creating a good wealth for our teachers. So we wanted to bring in more of skill orientation into their mindset, and we want to ensure that all of our teachers in eBox colleges become part of the startup studio, the team, and as a team, we want to come up with a successful companies. And then we have also started working with the Thai members and very senior auditors, so who will be registering those companies formally, and who will be helping us in bringing angel funds for these companies, because the idea is ready, skill is ready, framework is ready. It is just about we all getting into as a team, and then evolving the products, and then we can invite the angel investors and they will come and invest. And at last, what really happens is students, when they pass out after 4 years, we want to see them as millionaires, carry a good amount of wealth. And teachers, in next 4 to 5 years, we want every teacher in eBox colleges to have a share value of which will run into crores. So this is something is our vision towards the startup studio models. On one side, it is the business component, the value and the money component, and of course, it is also towards solving appropriate social problems, and so that humankind excels in this country. Thank you all for this opportunity. Thank you, Bala.
Well said, sir. As you said, eBox colleges always think different. We don't consider getting placed for 4 lakhs per annum as our accomplishment, though it's going to happen as byproduct. Our intention is going to make all our graduates as product developers. So as you rightly mentioned, 4 years of their graduation is more than sufficient to get our knowledge imparted and upskill and to make them developing a product. So we'll make sure that it happens. And students, we are going to give opportunity to equal opportunity to all the students. In every startup studio, we will have 10 students initially. So we'll have a set of induction process where we will assess your aspiration and attitude. So whoever aspires to work for startup studio are most welcome. Opportunity is given to all. Okay. So now I would like to request our CEO, Pradeep Duraisamy, to introduce the first set of startup studios.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, let me share my screen. I just prepare a deck for that. So you're able to see my screen?
Yes, Pradeep.
Okay, thank you. So welcome everyone. So welcome everyone for this startup studio. So I'll just take you through to give you a more understanding about what is startup studio and how it is going to function within a college, and what are the steps which will be having it for a startup, so that we can start working on those products, and how we can scale those products to reach multiple customers. So I'll just give you a brief overview. This is just an introduction part for you to see how the startup studio is going to shape up within each of the campuses. And this is going to be a home for creating multiple first-time entrepreneurs. So that's one thing which we normally want to build. So it's more like many people, many students are from as a they are going to be a first time entrepreneurs here. So they have much bigger dreams, not only joining for a job, they want to create some kind of a product or build a company. They might be having all these dreams within them. So this startup studio is going to be a place for you, and people who have a good fair passion and interest towards this product building and creating something big and which can change the societal problems. So those people or passionate students are being into this startup studios. They are very much, they can approach us and then they can join into any of the studios. And we are also welcoming many different interesting ideas from students and teachers in various domains, starting from agriculture towards other domains, all different areas. So we can explore creating many good products which can benefit the society, and ultimately we will be scaling up the businesses also. So I'll just take you 15 minutes of your time to go through this entire step. So this is what we'll be going to do. So we'll be creating multiple product startup studios, and we'll be taking some of the challenging problems which are there in the society, and that we will be solving it with the use of technology. And by this entire process, you will also learn a lot of things, a lot of new things to be, you will be exploring it, you will be researching on, and you will be learning a lot of interesting things. And at the outcome will be you will be creating a first time entrepreneur. So this will be it's going to be an interesting journey for all of you. And this 4 years of time is again, as I said, right, as a 4 years of time is going to be a bigger time for you to work on a product and scale up that product. So if you look at many people are having a question like, so whether as a student or whether I'll be able to work on a product, whether I'll be able to create a product on my own. So this is one of the questions which every student will be getting it. But if you look at all the big companies, so whatever has been mentioned in the previously, like Microsoft, Google, Facebook, all these things, everything they have originated from their college. So if you look at, they have started their entire the roots for those products have been started in their college, and many people have worked on those hobbies. So for example, if you look at Facebook, it's going to be his hobby, so which he has done during his college time. So that has been here he's sustained towards this development, and then he made a very big product, and that is being used by billions of people today. So if you look at all these products, they have started from zero. They don't have any business background. They don't have any much bigger money with them. So nothing is there. So everything has been started from zero. And from zero, they have they have their passion, they have their hard work, and they want to create something interesting, something benefits for the society. So that's why they were able to come up with those products, and that's been today those after 10 years those becomes much bigger products, and we see them as a tech giants today. So all these things are very small startup. All these things are started within a garage, within a 1-bedroom apartment. So many interesting stories are there. So you need to remove that mind block first. So as a student, you can also achieve all these things. So if you put your passion and your hard work into it, so it should be more like you should, your heart and soul should be within your startup. So that's how you need to do it. Okay, that's what we want to create. That's an ecosystem which we want to build within the startup studio. And so this is how it's going to be, it's going to work. So we'll be partnering with many external or internal people, so who have good ideas with them and who want to make that idea into a product or a service. So that's where it all gets started, and we will identify some potential areas where these startups can be more created. So, and then we will be identifying a good set of team. So since the students, teachers, all these things forms the core component of startup studio. So without those people, nothing will work in those startup studios. So those people, those talented, enthusiastic students will be selected for these startup studios. And those people will also be skilled on various technologies, whatever is needed. So that we call it as a preparation step for them. So initially there will be a preparation, identifying the people, and then come out with various learning, various preparation things which is needed for them. So after that, we will be working with industry mentors, ideators from different for that particular startup, and we will be creating a prototype, and then we'll be taking up to the market. So this is the entire journey of a startup. So if you look at this is how the entire journey of a startup within a startup studio is going to be. So preparation step is a major step here, since people are from the second year or third year or in the first year. So you need to be prepared first before you start into any product development or anything. You need to understand the domain, and then only you can learn technology, what to be used there. And then you need to do a lot of research, and then you need to come up with build a prototype. So the first step is going to be a major step. So that's where people need to spend a lot of time in the initial days. And then you will be gradually you will move on to this build phase. That's the build phase is going to be the design and the building of a product. So we will take some core components within the product, and then we will be building that. So that becomes your next step. And so in this build and the preparation step, Amfisoft will also help you with a lot of details about what to be learned and how to be learned. So you don't need to worry about how I'm going to prepare for all these things. So that's where we will be guiding you. So each of the startups will be guided by certain mentors from our side. So the preparation step, the build steps, in all these phases will be guiding you. So there will be a set of people who will be guiding you the entire startups, both internal as well as from external. So all these factors are being there. And once you build a prototype, then we need to do a piloting. So that's the next step there. So the pilot is more like a market test. You need to pilot that product within a certain few set of customers and see whether it works or not. So, and then, so since we have built all these things with the assumptions, so now we need to check whether those assumptions are working correctly, or is there anything to be improved. So this pilot step is also a much more crucial step for you. And this step will be connecting with certain people to pilot your product and see how it reacts. So how the customers are reacting to it, and receive a lot of feedbacks from them. And from these feedbacks, we will be again refining that product or the solution which we are going to offer. And then this is going to be an iterative kind of a mode. So this refine and pilot is going to be an iterative here. So it's more like you will have a multiple steps. So you need to do a refinement, and then you need to build it again, and then you need to pilot it again and see. So, and then once you feel the product is tested in the market, and it is customers are willing to buy your product, or they are enjoying your product. So that is the where you can scale your product to a much larger market. And then that's where the scale and growth comes in. So that will be the last step. So in all these phases from Amfisoft, we will also be interacting with you regularly, and we'll be having a lot of discussions, a lot of meetings will be there, and then we will guide you with all these steps. So only thing is the students need a lot of passion towards their startup and what they're going to build. So they need to put their heart and soul in that particular startup for next 2 to 3 years, so that they can come to this particular level. And once you have an idea and that is being market tested, and if it is proven, then there are many people who is willing to put their money from VC and all these places, and you can scale these products to much larger extents. So this is the this is how each and every startup within a startup studio is going to this is going to be a timeline if you look at, or it is going to be the various phases of a startup. And this is going to be the team structure. So for all these startups, so we'll be having people from Amfisoft who will be a mentor. He might be a technical member who will be contributing along with you, and he will be guiding you towards what to be done. And there will be an ideator. Ideator can be an internal ideator or an external ideators. So these people are from industries. They might be working on that particular domain for a longer time. They have some ideas with them, and they want to make that idea into a workable product. So that's where this ideator will come in. So those are the people who are very creative. They have a problem with them, and they want to solve that problem. So that's why this startup studio team is going to be an execution platform for those ideators to come in, and then they can execute their ideas and build a product very quickly. Maybe a year's time, we can build a product and then we can market test it. And then there will be an industry, from the industry, there will be a tech manager also. So he'll be a technical, he'll handle both the technical and managerial role also. So he will understand about the requirements, all these things. So that is another mentor from industry. And so teachers is also going to be one of the important factor in this. So teachers are going to be there in the campus with the students for every day. So teachers is going to be a changer in that particular startup. So they will be leading that particular team of startup students. So they will be working closely with the students and they will work closely with the industry people and see how fast we can build these startups. So teachers also been involved into this entire process. So each of the teacher will be leading one particular team, and so based on their interest, based on their domain, so we can assign those teachers into those startups. And you are going to be another member into the startup team. So you can also feel free to help the students be there and help them to scale up the startup. Okay. And next comes the development team. So this development team comprises of all students. So both front end and back end. So depending upon the area, it will change. And so initially there will be around 10 people working on that particular startup. I can include this intelligence also part of this development team. So that most of the products, if you look at, they want to add intelligence to that, right? So it will be around close to 12 students here. So this 12 students will be again divided into year wise. So there will be certain people from third year, second year, and first year. So it will be more like you can work as a team, and you will also understand a lot of different things, not only on academics as well as how to work within a team, how to build a leadership quality in a team, right? So how to cooperate within a team and get a deliverables. So all these things you will be able to learn by working in these startups. Okay, so this is going to be a typical ideal startup structure. This will definitely change based on the startup and based on the domain it involves. But this is going to be an ideal structure for a startup. So now I'll request different startups which are being inaugurated today. So this is one of the startup from AgriMate. So I would like Mr. Kumar from he was a former associate director from Cognizant. So I request Kumar to give us some idea about this particular startup, what it is going to do, and how it is going to benefit the society.
Thank you, Pradeep.
Kumar, it's interesting, right? From former associate director of Cognizant to a farmer.
Definitely.
Yes, welcome.
Right. So, first of all, thanks for providing this opportunity to students and as well as me, right? And today I felt very honored because I started my career by reading Dr. Balagurusamy sir book, right? Programming in ANSYS. Okay, that is what has helped me to build a beautiful career in the IT industry. அது ஒரு பக்கம் இருக்க, நான் கொஞ்சம் தமிழ்லையும் பேச போறேன். Hope that should be okay. Right. இந்த நான் ஏன் வந்து இந்த 23 வருஷத்துக்கு அப்புறம் வந்து ஐடி இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில இருந்துட்டு ஏன் வந்து ஃபார்மிங்கை சூஸ் பண்ணேன் அப்படின்னா, as we all talked about, picking up a social problem and solving it in the real time is something which is very much needed.
Sorry
right?
to interrupt, Kumar. Can we see your face also so that students will be cheerful to see you and get the essence from you?
No, my video
Pradeep,
is on
can
only.
you stop sharing? Yeah. For a while. Yes. Yes,
Is
Kumar,
that
please.
is that clear?
Yeah, now clear, very much.
All right. Okay. So நான் அதாவது என்னோட விஷன் என்ன அப்படின்னா, we have to, every city have to self sustain அந்த vegetables productionல, and we want to give a poison free vegetables to our generation and next generation. Okay. ஸோ அதுதான் வந்து அந்த அந்த விஷனை நோக்கி தான் வந்து போகணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இந்த ஐடியாவை வந்து ப்ராக்டிக்கலாக கொண்டு வரதுக்கு ட்ரை பண்ணோம். அண்ட் வி ஆர் கோயிங் டு ஒர்க் வித் யூ ஆல் ஆன் திஸ் ஜேர்னி. இந்த மிஷனில் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா நெக்ஸ்ட் 3 இயர்ஸில் அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒரு 1000 ஃபார்ம்ஸ் ஆகுது நம்ம வந்து இந்தியா ஆல் ஓவர் இந்தியாவில் கொண்டு வரணும். அது யார் கொண்டு வர போகிறா அப்படின்னா நீங்கள் தான் கொண்டு வர போகிறீங்க. Students, we all will work together in this journey, and we will create 1000 more farms in the city to provide poison free vegetables. நஞ்சில்லா உணவு. ஓகே, அதுதான் வந்து குறிக்கோள். சரிட்டா? நம்ம எல்லாம் பேசினாங்க, அதாவது 4 வருஷம் கிராஜுவேட் முடிச்சுட்டு ஒரு பிளேஸ்மெண்ட்டுக்கு போகிறது நல்லது தான், ரைட்? என்னை கேட்டிங்க அப்படின்னா அது வந்து ஒரு குளம் மாதிரி, ரைட்? இட்ஸ் அ பாண்ட், ரைட்? when you graduated and getting a placement, it is like a pond. நீங்கள் ஒரு சின்ன குளத்தில் இருப்பீங்க, இல்லை குளமாக இருப்பீங்க, அவ்வளோதான். ஆனால் becoming an entrepreneur வந்து ஒரு ஆறு மாதிரி, ரிவர் மாதிரி, ரைட்? your journey can progress, and river what it will do, it will progress both the side, right? The people along both the side, right? river மாதிரி நீங்கள் போகும்பொழுது you can create lot more impact, bringing out lot more progress. So அதுக்கு உண்டான ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டியை now eBox colleges is providing. டெஃபினட்டாக இந்த ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டியில் நீங்கள் தான் சூஸ் பண்ணணும், நான் குளமாக இருக்க போகிறேன்னா இல்லை ஆறாக இருக்க போகிறேன்னா அப்படின்னு, ரைட்? The choice is yours. If you want to become a river, definitely sign up for the startup studio programs. இந்த ஜேர்னியில் உங்கள் கூட நாங்கள் வந்து என்ன பண்ண போகிறோம், அக்ரிகேட் அப்படிங்கிற இந்த இனிஷியேட்டிவ் இதில் வந்து என்ன பண்ண போகிறோம் அப்படின்னா, ஃபஸ்ட்டு ஒரு காலேஜில் வில் செட்டப் aquaponics farming unit. We all will work together, okay? It's not only for agri students. நான் சொல்ல போகிற farmingல we want people from electronics and communication, we want people from mechanical engineering, we want people from civil, we want people from computer science. So we are going to solve a social problem with all these engineering capabilities. Farming is not just alone growing vegetables, right? So you will get many opportunities, and we will get an immersive experience. As Pradeep sir mentioned, there is a business side to it, there is a technical side to it. Definitely this is going to be an exciting journey. I love to call myself as an urban farmer. Yeah, so we will look forward to work with you all and create 1000 more farms in next 3 years, and with your ownership and everything. Thank you a lot.
Thanks Kumar. Thanks for your introduction about that particular product. I hope everyone will join through that, and it will be an interesting activity also. So for everyone, so not only the agri people can join, even from people from different domains can also join into this startup.
Yes,
that's another part. So the next one is going to be the hill riders and aerials. So I request Dr. Bala sir to give you a few words about that particular startup and what we are going to solve, what kind of problem we are going to solve in this particular startup.
Wonderful, Pradeep. Yeah, thank you. Students, like நம்ம நிறைய குவாட்காப்டர்ஸ் பார்த்துருக்குறோம். ஈவன் இப்போ லேட்டஸ்ட்டாக நம்ம அதிகமாக பார்க்கக்கூடிய இடம் வந்து மேரேஜ் ஹாலில் பார்க்குறோம். ஸோ வீடியோகிராஃபர்ஸ் யூஸ் தி ட்ரோன்ஸ் டு கேப்சர் தி வீடியோ ஆஃப் தி ஹேப்பனிங்ஸ் இன் தி வெட்டிங் செரிமனி. இப்போ எல்லா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸும் கூட கொஞ்சம் அதை அசம்பிள் பண்ணுறாங்க. நாட் ஹேவிங் தி டிசைன் ஆஸ்பெக்ட், நோயிங் தி டிசைன் ஆஸ்பெக்ட்ஸ் ஆஃப் இட். மார்க்கெட்டில் என்ன இருக்கோ அதை வாங்கி அசம்பிள் பண்ணி பறக்க விடுறாங்க. அப்கோர்ஸ் ஃப்ளைங் எவ்ரி திங் இஸ் ஃபன். ஸோ அந்த அடிப்படையில் பண்ணுறாங்க. பட் ஒரு ரியல் கிராஜுவேட்டாக நம்ம முடிச்சாச்சு. ஒரு கிட்டத்தட்ட 40+ கோர்சஸ் நம்மளோட கரிக்குலமில் படிக்கிறோம். நம்ம படித்த டிசைன், காம்பனன்ட் செலெக்ஷன், ஃபேப்ரிகேஷன் வச்சு அதை பண்ணியிருக்கோமா அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம்னா இல்லை. ஸோ நம்ம அப்போ பிஇ படிக்காம கூட அதை பண்ணியிருக்கலாம். ஸோ நம்ம ஒரு லோவர் கிளாஸ்ல பண்ண விஷயத்தை தான் 4 வருஷம் கழிச்சு பி அதை பண்ணோம்னா அப்போ நம்ம 4 வருஷம் படிச்சதை நம்ம அதில் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம் தான் அர்த்தம். What I'm coming to say is that whatever we study right from the basics of knowledges of materials, mechanism, design, electrical controllers, component selection, every graduate is supposed to make use of those knowledge and skills for product development. அது எல்லாத்துக்கும் நம்மளுக்கு பதில் சொல்றது தான் இந்த தி ஏரியல்ஸ் அண்ட் தி ஹில் ரைட்ஸ் ப்ராஜெக்ட். இதுல என்ன பண்ண போறோம் அப்படின்னா, there are plethora of opportunities in hilly areas like Ottagaman, where tea estates அங்க நிறைய இருக்கு. So many of you are aware அந்த tea estatesல different grades of leaves இருக்கு. So that there are certain grades of leaves which are deemed as tender leaves which are qualified as high quality tea. இப்போ வந்து அங்க டீ பிளக்கிங்க்கு லேபர் ப்ராப்ளம்ஸும் இருக்கு. அவங்க எல்லாத்தையும் ஒன்னா டீ லீவ்ஸ் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் செக்ரிகேட் பண்றதும் வந்து ரொம்ப எக்ஸ்பென்சிவ் ப்ராசஸா இருக்கு. So as a product developer, product engineer hailing from the premier institutions, நாம என்ன பண்ணணும்னா நம்ம அதுக்கு ஒரு சொல்யூஷன் கொடுக்கணும். Can we not design an intelligent drone, what we call it as swarm drone, which can fly in between the tea plants and cut only the tender leaves and segregate as only the high grade tea? இந்த மாதிரி பார்த்தோம்னா ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ்ன்றது நிறைய இருக்கு சொசைட்டில. ஆனா இப்ப சால்வ் பண்றதுக்கு தான் ஆள் இல்லை. ஆனா நம்ம கிட்ட நிறைய இன்ஜினியர்ஸ் இருக்கிறாங்க. So I differentiate. I've been very meticulous to use two words. One as engineers and graduates, the other one as product solvers, product developers and problem solvers. So let us all become as problem solvers. இப்போ நம்ம செலக்ட் பண்ண போற 10 ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் யாரா இருக்க போறாங்க? They could be from first years, second years, third years, fourth years. They could be from mechanical, automation, robotics, electronics. They could be from anywhere. All that we need is only aspiring students and attitude. They don't have to have necessarily any prerequisite knowledge. We are there to impart essential knowledge and the required skills. We will take care of everything. We will handhold you to completely right from imparting knowledge till the product developments. We'll see to that all agricultural people make use of this to do cost effective tea plantation. இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய ப்ராப்ளம் சொல்லிட்டே போகலாம். இப்போ டீ பிளான்ட் கீழே இருக்கிற வீட்ஸ் பாத்தீங்கன்னா பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் நான் அவைலபிலிட்டி ஆஃப் லேபர் என்ன பண்றாங்க, பெஸ்டிசைட்ஸ் அடிச்சிடுறாங்க. ஐ மீன் வீடிசைட்ஸ் அடிச்சிடுறாங்க. வீடிசைட்ஸ் பண்றதுனால வீட்ஸ் மட்டும்தான் ரிமூவ் ஆகுதான்னு பார்த்தோம்னா இல்ல, வீட்ஸ் கீழே இருக்கிற மண்ணும் அடல்ட்ரேட் ஆகுது. ஸோ பாய்சனஸ் ஆகுது. அப்புறம் ஃபியூச்சர்ல மழை அதிகமா வரும்போது அந்த அந்த கெமிக்கலோட தண்ணி எல்லாம் எங்க வருது, நம்மள கீழே இருக்கக்கூடிய பிளைன் லேண்ட்ஸ்ல வந்து ஆத்துல கிடக்குது. அந்த தண்ணி தான் நம்ம குடிக்க போறோம். ஸோ இட் ஹஸ் காட் கான்சிக்வென்ட் டேமேஜ் டு ஆல் தி பீப்புள் அரௌண்ட். இந்த எல்லாத்துக்குமே நம்ம பதில் சொல்லி ஆகணும். ஸோ ஹவு டு ரிமூவ் வீட்ஸ் இன் பிட்வீன் தி டீ பிளான்டேஷன்? ஸோ as a product engineer, I can always provide a solution of developing a machine to pass through the tea plantation and remove only the weeds. So it's all very simple of developing a machine first and then incorporating intelligence into that and integrating that with cloud. It's a combination of triangle. So machine, intelligence and cloud, and there we are. Okay. So it's quite interesting. We will roll out this as well in our Revox colleges. The students are welcome. Hope to see the product getting developed sooner.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So the next startup will be a backtrack. So I request Jimesh to give a few words about this particular startup. It's already been started and we are working on those startup. So maybe he can, he's a tech lead in that, and he can give more detail about this particular startup. Yes, Jimesh.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Jimesh. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Jimesh, maybe you can share your, you can open up your cam also.
Yeah, so now I am audible, right?
Yes, audible.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. So backtrack. So we'll see actually what is backtrack. So backtrack is nothing but doing a background verification of the candidates. So I think everyone would be knowing that once they are going to join any organization, initially the organization will be doing their background verification. So basically it's been with all the organization, and depends on their project, they will be doing their background verification. So in this application, it's like doing a verification with the different components. So if I take this backtrack application, we have different verifications like doing ID check, employment, education, address check, and reference check. All the organization take help with the third party vendor, and they will just complete the verification, and later on, once the verification has been genuine, they will be onboarding their candidates. So fine. So the application working will be on. So once this application have been come to us by the management came and asked us to build the application, and they came up with the concept. So already the application was in the market. So what different can we do with this application? We had that idea. So initially with the application which is in market, or with a different application, basically in a month they can verify the candidate details up to 500, around 800 cases per month. But we had an idea and we had a concept to be done the verification around 5,000 to 6,000 cases per month, and that was very huge. Because the application the startup was already been done, the company Backtrack company was already been in the market, and we had a huge demand. So with the existing application, we were not like able to complete their verification on time. The main thing over this startup will be like TAT, that is the turnaround time. Every client need their cases on TAT, because only if we do the verification quicker, they'll be able to onboard their candidate. We have to build an application that will stand apart from all the existing application. So what we have thought initially was to bring an AI into the application, and to bring as much as automation we can do in the application. So that we had different, as I mentioned, we have ID, education, employment, and we wanted to bring automation for every component. As you will be knowing, guys, that in a startup we will be having very small team. So with that team, we wanted to hit the market with the larger verification to be done. So while starting with this application, everyone were like very amazed, like we are going to work with a new technology. So whenever there comes a chance of working in a new technology, the team and other team members will be very happy, because we will try to, and we'll be getting more hands-on exploring new things. So the first thing was, we are going to build the application from the scratch, as well as we are going to build the application with a new technology. That was very interesting. As Pradeep sir said, they formed a team with me. I had a few seniors with me, as well as my team members along with me, and with different algorithms, different new technologies. We had an thorough confidence that we will be doing this and we will be hitting this. But as Pradeep sir said that if I take a component, the component were divided into different team members. So it was new technology, and we'll be like working for 3-4 days, and if we are not getting output, we have to switch to other thing again. It was like exploring more things again and again. When you explore only, then we'll be getting output. The main thing over here was, when you get the output, we'll be feeling very, very much happy about that yeah, we have done something with the output. There were many ups and downs, and also we had one more constraint, that we have to complete that application very soon, because many clients were being piled up, and already they were waiting for this application to be built, because we have been already said that the application will be going to come, and this will clear the verification around 4,000 to 5,000 cases. We wanted to stand with their expectations. So once the application got completed, I think every client were happy with our application. And as Rajat said, the application is on market, and many clients like HCL, Asia, CenturyLink been using this application, and many still automation has been going on. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Yeah, thanks, Jimesh. So I guess this is one of the product which is already in the market, and so I hope all the other products will also come in through the market in another 6 months to 1 year's time. So I think The next startup is going to be the storytelling company. So I would like Mr. Siddharth to address this. And he's an associate vice president from FSS. So I think he has joined just now. So hi Sid.
Hi, Pradeep. Hello,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, hi Sid. Yeah, sorry for the last minute invitation.
Nah, it's
So
good.
hope you made it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sid. Maybe you can share us a little bit about what is this company is all about, and you can tell about so how we are going to use this product within the market. Thanks.
Sure. Thanks, Pradeep. First of all, I'm excited to be here, especially from the fact that what we are trying to do. Now, let me just tell you a story because it's a storytelling company, and without a story, nothing gets completed, right? So, once there was a small dewdrop. The dewdrop actually rolled up in the morning and started going through the lawns. And as it was going through the lawns, it saw a beautiful, bright red rose, very bright red rose. And he said, if I actually get onto the rose, it will be amazing for myself. And as it came to the rose plant actually saw the dewdrop and said, no, don't come close to me. Don't come. He said, why? So the rose said, if you come close to me, my thorns will prick you and you will disintegrate. He said, oh, really? Felt sad and started rolling further. As it started rolling further, it saw bright sunflowers. And it said, wow, now this is a beautiful space, bright yellow. Let me get onto the sunflower. And it saw the sunflower and said, okay, let me climb up to that. And as it went close to the sunflower said, who are you? Wait, don't come here. He said, I'm a dewdrop. I want to be on the sunflower. Oh, stop. I'm having a meeting right now with the sun. Don't you see? I'm talking to the sun looking up. Don't come here right now. And anyway, if you come on to me, you will get evaporated. So please go, please go. The dewdrop was sad and started rolling. It came to a pond, the pond Mr. Kumar was talking about, a beautiful big pond. And there was a lotus in that, pinkish, bright pinkish lotus. It looked at the lotus and said, wow, that's a lovely spot to be in. Let me get on to that lotus. As it came near to the banks of the pond, the lotus from there said, wait, don't come, don't come. He said, why? If you come in, you will be part of the water. You will not be a dewdrop anymore. Oh, it was very sad. It kept going round and round. It was already late in the evening. And as it was going, the sun had gone down and the moon came up. And it was looking at the moon and quietly rolling because nobody was there to take him. There was a beautiful voice that he heard saying, hey there, I see a moon in you. It turned around, looked up and saw there was a beautiful white lily that was up there. He said, really? Where? It's shining bright in you. And I think you should come and join me. And we both will shine in this beautiful moonlit night. And the dewdrop joined the lily, and the fragrance and the dewdrop grew as the sun had gone down and the moon kept going up in the sky. So I'm sure when I told the story to all of you and you heard it, there were different imaginations that fired in your head. You imagine the red rose, you imagine the bright yellow, you would have imagined the beautiful lotus, the water, the struggle, the evaporation, everything that you would have imagined. And that is the power of storytelling. We all imagine different things. We connect with the story in our own beautiful ways. Some of us would have thought about the rose and the rose that you would have to give to a girlfriend of yours or a boyfriend of yours. Some of you have thought about the lotus and thought about the pictures that you could have taken sometime in your childhood somewhere. That's the power of storytelling. So what are we talking about here and what are we trying to do? I strongly believe that stories connect with each one of us in different ways. It connects with our own core, which is I as an individual, more than anybody else. So when stories are told over a period of time and we keep listening to these stories, we bring in our own behaviors, our own character, our own self. And how about a system that can capture these stories, stories that will really enable us to flourish over a period of time, change our characters, change the way we are looking at the world, see how our stories have evolved over a period of time. And that's what the storytelling company is going to do. Now, so what does it mean for a student like you? And why are we talking about a startup? One, of course, we can capture stories. So what? Now, stories help us in building our language. Stories help us in building our character. Stories help in bringing idea, collaborating on an idea, making the idea large and big. I mean, just imagine what Dr. Bala talked about, what Kumar sir talked about, what Backtrack talked about. They are just ideas. And when you put these ideas, when 4 of you sit together on that idea and build it, it becomes a beautiful story in itself. This is going to be a platform for that. And we're talking about using AI, ML-based thinking and technology to start making this much more stronger, making and enabling each one of us to become storytellers so that we express our ideas, share our thoughts in a much, much stronger way. So I'm looking out for those bright ideas, those bright spots to work along with me as we build this particular platform for the dewdrop to shine and for the lilies to actually hold these dewdrops and make them shine even stronger. So that's in a short about the storytelling company, and I'm looking forward.
Yeah, thanks, Sid. I think hope everyone enjoyed that story also.
Many stories I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. So the next startup will be on Fabric. So I request Karthik Palani so to give us more details about this particular startup.
Thanks, Pradeep.
Yes, Karthik.
So this is mainly focused for the garment industry, and we are focusing on small and medium businesses. So we went and met a large garment manufacturer in Tirupur, which is a nearby town, and he said that we are a 50,000 crore industry, but none of the IT products that are currently available suit our businesses basically. So the problems that the business comes up with is that the IT products are not suitable for direct use in their industry, and we have to align with the business concepts and flow with the business ideas and develop an IT product that can help in automating the entire manufacturing flow that happens in a garment industry. So we have to focus right from the time of purchasing of yarn to finishing and packaging of the finished products, which could be knitwear, garment wear, or any of these things. So the variations are quite huge in this industry, and our product will focus on addressing the nitty-gritties of this business in such a way that it gives a very streamlined workflow for the users and helps to automate many of the processes that are being currently done manually in the garment industry currently, and help business users to have a very smooth user experience in using our product. So that is where this product is focused upon, and we will be focusing on achieving these targets. Thanks, Pradeep.
Yeah, thanks, Karthik. So we already have one of the customer to pilot this product. So, and Karthik is leading this particular project, and will be in another 6 months, we'll be piloting this project within the company. And you could look at, there are a lot of companies need these kinds of customized platforms for their process. So this will also grow as a bigger company in meanwhile. So these are the different startups which we are going to launch today. So, and I hope students are also being very much interested into joining in these are the startups. So you can look forward, and we'll be communicating to you. So what is the procedure and everything. And so that's all I have. So thanks, Bala sir.
Yeah, Pradeep, I think we should be clear that these are the first batch of startups, right?
Yeah, these are the first batch of startups. We will be having more and more startups coming in on the way. So these are the first set of things. Some of the things have been initiated. That's why we have made this one into first batch. So you'll be having next set of things also will be there. So everyone will be given an equal opportunity here. So don't hesitate. And if you're passionate towards product building, come over here, and we guide you to become
Yeah.
an editor. Yeah.
Well, I think we are also making the newly admitted students.
Yeah, sir.
So the part of the startup studios, right?
Yeah, we are involving the currently registered first year students of this new academic year. We are giving equal opportunity to those students as well to taste the flavor of product building along with their senior students.
The one who are entering the first year now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who are entering the first year right now in the future academic year, 2021 academic year. So students, you could be part of ideator, development team or a team of intelligence. So as our CEO Balagurusamy was mentioning, though it looks simple, prepare, build, pilot, refine and scale, it is not all that easy, but it is fun working with the startup studios. We are already mastered in that. We know the modalities of converting the idea into a commercial product within the duration of 4 to 6 months, which we have already done that. Okay, so you can be really privileged to work with us. And now I would take the privilege of requesting our CTO, Sivaram Krishnan, to run through the roadmap of startup studios.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, all. Anivarkum vanakkam. So I think most of the rationale behind starting up a startup studio and being an entrepreneur is all done through the journey. And luckily, myself and Pradeep, I would say, have been the first set of guys who evolved out of something like a startup studio, even though we don't call it a startup studio, but இதே மாதிரி ஒரு ஸ்டார்ட்அப் ஸ்டுடியோ அப்படிங்கிற செட்டப் வந்து அது வழியாக தான் நாங்கள் இன்னைக்கு இந்த பிளேஸில் இருக்கோம். ஸோ அந்த ஜேர்னி பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா 2002 ஆரம்பித்த ஒரு ஜேர்னி. ஸோ இதே மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். இப்போ பேசின டாக்டர் பிரதீப் சார், புனிதா மேம், myself and Pradeep, we are basically classmates. ஸோ இதே மாதிரி தான் எங்களுக்கு ஸ்டார்ட்அப் ஸ்டுடியோன்னு சொல்லி எல்லாம் கூப்பிடல, ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் கொடுத்து இதை சால்வ் பண்ணுங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி தான் எங்களை அழைச்சாங்க. ஸோ அந்த இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் லெவல்ஸ் வந்து ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் சால்வ் பண்ணோம். அப்புறம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எடுத்த உடனே அந்த ப்ராப்ளம் இமீடியட்டாக கிராக் ஆகாது. ஸோ அது கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டப்படுவோம், தேடுவோம், கூகுள் பண்ணுவோம். அப்போல்லாம் கூகுள் கூட கிடையாது. ஸோ நாங்கள் ஒரு ப்ரௌசிங் சென்டர் போயிட்டு சொல்யூஷன் தேடிட்டு, அப்புறம் ஃப்ளாப்பி ட்ரெஸ் தான் அப்போ இருக்கும், அதில் காப்பி பண்ணி வந்துட்டு மறுபடியும் போட்டு செக் பண்ணுவோம். மறுபடியும் அந்த எரர் ரிசால்வ் ஆகுனா மறுபடியும் போயிட்டு வருவோம். ஸோ இட் வாஸ் அ வெரி ஃபன் ஜர்னி வேர் ட்ரைங் டு சால்வ் ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ், பட் தென் வி டிடன்ட் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் வேர் வி கேன் எண்ட் அப் ஆக்சுவலி. ஸோ எங்களுக்கு வந்து எப்படி இருக்கும்னா, ஒரு டெக்னிக்கல் ப்ராப்ளம் சால்வ் பண்ணிட்டோம் அப்படின்னா நெக்ஸ்ட் ப்ராப்ளம்க்கு போயிடும். அந்த டெக்னிக்கல் ப்ராப்ளம் வந்து எப்படி ஒரு ப்ராடக்டாக பில்ட் பண்ணணும், எப்படி அதை மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு எடுத்துகிட்டு போகணும், அது எப்படி ஒரு ப்ராப்ளமை சால்வ் பண்ணி அதோட கன்சர்ன் ஸ்டேக் ஹோல்டர்ஸ்க்கு ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிற லெவலுக்கு அந்த நேரத்தில் எங்களுக்கு அவ்வளோ தூரம் எட்டலைன்னு சொல்லலாம். ஸோ அப்போ வந்து டெக்னிக்கலி சால்வ் பண்ணிடுவோம், நெக்ஸ்ட் ப்ராப்ளமுக்கு போயிடுவோம். ஸோ இது மாதிரி தான் ஒரு 2002 நாங்கள் அவர் சார் வந்து ஒரு வீட்டில் வந்து ஒரு எங்களுக்குன்னு ஒரு ஸ்பேஸ் கொடுத்துருப்பாரு, ஒரு 2 கம்ப்யூட்டர் வாங்கி கொடுத்துருந்தாரு. ஸோ அங்கே தான் ஒர்க் பண்ணி தொடங்கணும். ஸோ இன்னைக்கு அந்த சின்ன ரூம் அப்படிங்கிறது தான் வளர்ந்து 2009 வந்து ஆம்பிசாஃப்ட் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு நிறுவனம் ஆச்சு. இன்னைக்கு அந்த ஆம்பிசாஃப்ட் நிறுவனம் ஒரு 10 வருஷத்துக்கு அப்புறம் இபாக்ஸ் காலேஜஸ்னு ஒன்று ஒரு என்டிட்டியா எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்ணி அதே ஸ்டார்ட் அப் ஸ்டுடியோ கான்செப்டை மறுபடியும் இங்கே உருவாக்கணும். ஸோ எப்பவுமே அவங்க எங்களுக்கு சொன்ன ஒரு விஷயம் இதுதான். ஸோ இப்போ ஒரு டீச்சர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் காம்போ 2 பேர் சேர்ந்து பண்ணக்கூடிய ஒரு விஷயம் வந்து அக்ராஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு இதுக்கான ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி கிடைக்கணும். அதே மாதிரி அவங்களுக்குள்ள இருக்கிற அந்த ஸ்கில்ஸையும் அந்த டேலண்ட்டையும் எக்ஸிபிட் பண்றதுக்கான ஒரு ஃபாரம் இருக்கணும். அதுதான் இந்த ஸ்டார்ட் அப் ஸ்டுடியோ அப்படிங்கிறத நாங்கள் விஷுவலைஸ் பண்றோம். என்ன ஒரு சின்ன பெனிஃபிட் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, ஸோ நாங்கள் இதை முன்னாடியே ஒரு 15 வருஷமா இந்த ஹர்டில்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஃபேஸ் பண்ணி வந்ததுனால எங்களுக்கு இதை எப்படி குவிக்காக மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு எடுத்துகிட்டு போகணும், எந்த இடத்துல நம்ம ஸ்டக் ஆகும், எந்த இடத்துல எந்த மாதிரி ஃப்ரேம் ஒர்க் கொடுக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுல ஒரு எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் இருக்கு. அந்த எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸை தான் உங்க கூட ஷேர் பண்ணுவோம். அந்த எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் உங்களுக்கு ப்ராடக்டை சீக்கிரம் பில்ட் பண்ணுறதுல ஹெல்ப் பண்ணும். இது கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸ் மட்டுமே இல்லை, இதே மாதிரி மற்ற துறைகளும் மெக்கானிக்கல் ஆகட்டும், எலக்ட்ரிக்கல், எலக்ட்ரானிக்ஸ் ஆகட்டும், இதில் எல்லாத்துலேயுமே அந்தந்த எக்ஸ்பர்ட்ஸ் வந்து கைட் பண்ணுவாங்க. அண்ட் இன்னைக்கு இருக்கிற ஒரு பெரிய ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட் வந்து இந்த கிளவுட் இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர். ஸோ இன்னைக்கு நீங்கள் ஐஓடி ஆகட்டும், ஒரு மெஷின் லேர்னிங் ஆகட்டும், ஒரு ஆர்டிஃபிஷியல் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ் ஆகட்டும், அதுக்கு ஏற்ற மெஷின் ஒரு கம்ப்யூட்டிங் பவர் வந்து ஆல்ரெடி அவைலபிள். அதுக்கான டேட்டா கொலேஷன் ஆர் அதுக்கு தேவையான இன்டர்நெட் ஃபெசிலிட்டிஸ் ஆர் ஆல் அவைலபிள் வித் அஸ். நம்ம குவிக்காக ப்ராப்ளம் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணி அதுக்கான சொல்யூஷனிங் பண்ணுறதுக்கான ஸ்கோப் நம்மளுக்கு இன்னைக்கு ரொம்பவே அதிகமாக இருக்குது. ஸோ இது வந்து ஒரு டிபிக்கல் ரோட் மேப் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ஆகட்டும் இல்லை ஒரு ஃபைனல் இயர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ஆகட்டும், ஸோ தே கேன் பிக் அப் தி ஐடியா தட் தே லைக். ஸோ ஆல்ரெடி வி ஹாவ் அ செட் ஆஃப் ஐடியாஸ் தட் இஸ் அவைலபிள். On top of it, if you have your own ideas that you think, yes, this is solving a social problem and this has got both the economics and the business part of it as well, you're free to start that problem into a product conceptualization. So ஒரு typical journey எப்படி இருக்கும்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அதை ஐடியேட் பண்ணுவோம். அதை ஐடியேட் பண்ணிட்டு இதுக்கு யூசர் இன்ட்ராக்ஷன் எப்படி இருக்கும், பேசிக்லி வாட் ஆர் தி டிவைசஸ் த்ரூ விச் தே வில் கம்யூனிகேட். இட் கேன் பி அ வெப், இட் கேன் பி அ mobile, or it can be a custom device. It can even be, இப்போ பாலாசர் ப்ராஜெக்ட்ல எடுத்தீங்கன்னா அந்த வீடு ரிமூவர்லேயே வந்து இட் கேன் பி வெரி இன்டெலிஜென்ட். எந்த டெப்த்தில் எவ்வளோ தூரத்துக்கு போகணும் அப்படிங்கிற இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன்ஸ் கூட ஒன்றா அதில் கான்ஃபிகர் பண்ணியிருக்கலாம், இல்லை ஒரு எக்ஸ்டர்னல் டிவைஸ் அதுக்கான இன்புட் கொடுக்கலாம். ஸோ இட் கேன் பி எனி ஐஓடி டிவைஸ், எனி சென்சார். ஸோ இது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணிட்டு இதை பேஸ் பண்ணி எந்த மாதிரி ஃப்ரேம் ஒர்க் ஆர்கிடெக்ட் பண்ணணும். ஸோ எல்லாமே கிளவுட் பேஸ் சொல்யூஷன்ஸ் தான் இன்னைக்கு ப்ரெவலண்டா இருக்கு. ஸோ அந்த கிளவுட் பேஸ் செட்டப்ல இதை எப்படி கொண்டு வருது அப்படிங்கிற டிஸ்கஷன்ஸ் நடக்கும். அதுக்கப்புறம் எப்படி இதை டேட்டா மாடலிங் பண்றது, என்னென்ன இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் ஸ்டோர் பண்ணணும், அப்புறம் அந்த இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் எப்படி ப்ராசஸ் பண்ணி இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ் கொண்டு வரணும் அப்படிங்கிறது தான் நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டேஜ்ல இருக்கும். இதுக்கான ஃப்ரேம் ஒர்க்ஸ் ஆல்ரெடி ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கு. அதுல ஓரளவுக்கு நம்ம எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்ட் பண்ணி சின்ன சின்ன ப்ராடக்ட்ஸும் பில்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். ஸோ more different problems, more different interesting projects that will come through. And Amphisoft development team will also be part of it, where they will அவங்களோட எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் வச்சுட்டு இதை எப்படி சீக்கிரம் பில்ட் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிற இன்புட்ஸ் கொடுப்பாங்க. இதை பேஸ் பண்ணி நம்ம ஒரு ப்ரோட்டோடைப் பில்ட் பண்ணோம், விச் இஸ் வாட் பிரதீப் எக்ஸ்பிளைன்ட் த்ரூ தி ஜர்னி. ஸோ இது எந்தெந்த பில்ட் ஃபேஸ், அந்த பைலட் ஃபேஸ், அப்புறம் இந்த ஷோகேசிங் ஃபேஸ். ஸோ இது அப்படியே ரியாலிட்டிக்கு எடுத்துகிட்டு போகணும். ஸோ எண்ட் கஸ்டமருக்கு இதை கொண்டு போய் சேர்க்கணும். தட் இஸ் தி மேஜர் ஐடியா ஆஃப் கிரியேட்டிங் அ ஸ்டார்ட்அப் ஸ்டுடியோ. அண்ட் தென் இந்த ஸ்டுடியோவில் அந்த பில்ட் பண்ண ப்ராடக்டை வந்து நம்ம ப்ராடக்ட் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு 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 இந்தியன் ஸ்டாம்ப், லிட்டரலி இன்னைக்கு பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா இண்டிஜினியஸ் ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ், தட் இஸ் ஹோம் க்ரோன் ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ் அப்படிங்கிறது ரொம்ப குறைவு. ஸோ டிப்பிக்கலி ஈவன் தி மோஸ்ட் யூஸ்ட் பப்ஜி கம்ஸ் ஃப்ரம் சைனா. ஸோ இன்னைக்கு கவர்மெண்ட் ஓரளவுக்கு ஸ்டெப்ஸ் எடுத்தாலுமே நம்ம தரப்புலேருந்து அதுக்கு சப்போர்ட் பண்ணி நம்ம இண்டிஜினியஸ் ஆப்ஸ் பில்ட் பண்ண முடியும் அப்படிங்கிற கேப்பபிலிட்டியை நம்மளுக்கு ஷோகேஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கான ஒரு ஸ்டேஜ் இது. ஸோ ஈவன் இன்ஃபேக்ட் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு சைனீஸ் பிஸ்னஸ் யூனிட் வந்து சேலஞ்ச் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, இந்த மாதிரி எங்கள் ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் நிறுத்திட்டோம் அப்படின்னா, எங்கள் ப்ராடக்ட்ஸை நீங்கள் கன்சியூம் பண்ணாமல் விட்டுட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா இந்தியாவில் பாதி ப்ராடக்டே இருக்காது அப்படிங்கிறது. ஸோ அதுக்கு வந்து ஆனந்த் மஹிந்திரா சைட் சேலஞ்ச் அக்செப்டட், வி வில் டூ இட் அப்படின்றாங்க. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி அவங்க லெவலில் அவங்க சேலஞ்ச் அக்செப்டட் சொல்றது அவங்க சொல்லுவாங்க. பட் கீழே இருக்கிற நம்ம இன்ஜினியர்ஸ் சேர்ந்து ஒரு கஸ்டம் சொல்யூஷன் பில்ட் பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா தான் இந்தியா அப்படிங்கிறதுல, அப்புறம் ஹோம் க்ரோன் ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ் அப்படிங்கிறதுல நமக்கு தேவையான ப்ராடக்ட்ஸை நம்ம பில்ட் பண்ணக்கூடிய திறன் நமக்கு வரும். அதுக்கான ஒரு ஸ்டேஜ் தான் இது. வெல்கம் யூ ஆல் டு ஸ்டார்ட்அப் ஸ்டுடியோஸ். Some point we will start engaging and we will ensure that we build wonderful products together. Thank you all.
Shivram, this process நிறைய பேருக்கு இந்த சின்ன கன்ஃபியூஷன் இருக்கும். பேசிக்லி இப்போ எல்லாம் கோவிட்ல வந்து எல்லாருமே வீட்டில் இருக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ இப்போ வந்து ஸ்டார்ட் அப் ஸ்டுடியோஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறீங்க. ஸோ அவங்க எல்லாம் நீங்கள் எப்படி என்கேஜ் பண்ண போகிறீங்க, எப்படி ஸ்கில் பண்ண போகிறீங்க, எப்படி வந்து அந்த ஸ்டுடியோ மாடல்ஸ் வந்து நீங்கள் வர்ச்சுவலி செட்டப் பண்ணி தர போகிறீங்க.
Yeah, thanks Shiva. And now we have come to the end of the show. Now I would request Dr. S. Ramkumar, who is the director of eBox Colleges, to propose the vote of thanks.
So before Ramkumar sir steps in, even during this coding period, right? So in the COVID period la வந்து இது எப்படி நடக்கும், இது எப்படி விஷுவலைஸ் பண்ணுவீங்க அப்படின்னு பார்க்கும்போதுமே இதுக்கான ஃபெசிலிட்டிஸும் நம்ம கிட்ட இருக்கு. ஸோ இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஒரு கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸ் செக்மெண்ட்ல நம்ம ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் பில்ட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு முடிவு பண்ணோம்னா, இப்போ எப்படி நம்ம இந்த மாதிரி வீடியோ கான்ஃபரன்சிங் டூல்ஸ்ல பேசுறோமோ அதே மாதிரி கண்டினியூ பண்ணி பேசுவோம். இன்ட்ராக்ஷனுக்கு வீடியோ கான்ஃபரன்சிங் டூல் இருக்கு. அதே மாதிரி இதை டெவலப்மெண்ட் பண்றதுக்கு நம்ம வந்து கிளவுட்லயே டெஸ்க்டாப்ஸ் ரெடி பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கோம். ஸோ நம்மளுக்கு நாளைக்கு டெஸ்க்டாப்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணணும், ஒரு அப்ளிகேஷன் பில்ட் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா அதுக்கான டெஸ்க்டாப்ஸ் ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்லி கிளவுட்ல அசைன் ஆகி வந்துடும். ஸோ அந்த கேப்பபிலிட்டியில அந்த ஸ்பீடுக்கு நமக்கு வேணும், என்கிட்ட வெறும் i3 ப்ராசஸர் இருக்கு, எனக்கு i7 கேப்பபிலிட்டி வேணும் அப்படின்னா அது அங்கே கிளவுட்ல லான்ச் பண்ணி கொடுத்துடலாம். ஸோ அந்த பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் அங்கே செட்டப் பண்ணி கொடுத்துருவோம். அதை நம்ம அந்த கிளவுட் பிளாட்ஃபார்மை அப்படியே நம்ம ப்ரௌசர்லேயே யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். நம்மளுக்கு வேற எதுவுமே இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ண வேண்டிய அவசியம் இருக்காது. அந்த மாதிரி சில பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் நம்ம வந்து செட்டப் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கோம். ஸோ அதையும் நம்ம ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணிடுவோம். And every day we will start interacting using these kinds of tools, and there will be a development environment. So again, and the Pradeep சொன்ன அந்த ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்டேஜ்லயும் இந்த பில்ட் அந்த டெப்ளாய்மெண்ட் அதுக்கான ப்ராசஸும் ப்ளஸ் அதுக்கான டூல்ஸும் ஆல்ரெடி நம்ம செட்டப் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கோம். ஸோ நம்ம எக்ஸிஸ்டிங் இபாக்ஸ் அப்படிங்கிற ப்ராடக்ட்டுக்கே இது எல்லாமே நம்ம கான்ஃபிகர் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கோம். ஸோ அது எல்லாமே வந்து ஒவ்வொன்றா இதில் நம்ம எடுத்த ஒவ்வொரு ப்ராடக்ட்லையும் இதை நம்ம கொண்டு வருவோம். அதே மாதிரி இன்னைக்கு ஒரு டிவைஸ்க்கு பப்ளிக் ஐபி அசைன் பண்றதோ இல்லை அதுக்கு ஒரு ஐபி நம்ம எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்றதோ is no big challenge at all. So ஒரு ஏர்டெல்ட்டையோ இல்லை ஒரு ஜியோட்டையோ கேட்டோம்னா அவங்க டக்குன்னு ஒரு பப்ளிக் ஐபி கொடுத்துருவாங்க. ஸோ ஒரு பப்ளிக் ஐபி கிடைச்சிருச்சுனாலே நம்ம அந்த டிவைஸை எங்கிருந்து வேணாலும் ஈஸியாக ஆக்சஸ் பண்ண முடியும். அந்த மாதிரி நம்மளோட மெஜாரிட்டி தி செட்டப் இன்க்ளூடிங் தி கோட் பேஸ் இன்க்ளூடிங் தி மெஷின்ஸ் ஆர் அவைலபிள் ஆன் தி கிளவுட். ஸோ ஒருத்தருக்கு வந்து இதில் ஒர்க் பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு அவருக்கு தேவை உள்ள ஒரே விஷயம் இன்டர்நெட் மட்டும்தான். அந்த இன்டர்நெட் இருந்ததுன்னா they can start the development process, they can start getting involved into the meetings, and that's how it will get started.
Bala sir, with respect to the robotics and the hill rides and the aerial projects, நீங்க எப்படி engage பண்ண போறீங்க students?
So the preliminary groundwork of design it has started. Now we have come out with the first level of prototyping, and we can form teams in the campuses of 4 e-box colleges comprising of first, second, the future first years who are joining us for the academic year 2020 and 2021, and the senior members from the second years, third years, and fourth years. We'll form 2 types of teams, with one hardware team and the other one for the software development team, who will be doing with the simulation software kind of stuff for all the mechanical products. So whatever licensed products we use for the designing and modeling for the mechanical components, we will start developing our own simulation softwares, modeling softwares, and analysis softwares from the startup studios. And we will have a kind of hiring process to identify the aspiring students from the e-box colleges. So we will segregate them into mechanical design team, electrical team, and electronics team within the development of drones. And if they are interested, they can be part of humanoids as well. So they will be given hands-on skilling and then product developing experience into that. So we'll have further interactions with the students in the future. So they can approach their heads of the departments, or they can get enrolled through their class advisors, which will be consolidated in the college-wise through the principal, and we'll start with the team formation and take it forward.
So you are starting the enrollment from Monday onwards?
We'll start it, sir, from Monday.
Yes, Bala, we can go ahead for the next.
Yeah, now I would request Dr. Ramkumar, Director of e-box colleges, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Bala. I think all good things should come to an end, and so has this program. Needless to say that this is an important day or important occasion in the history of e-box colleges, so wherein we have launched the startup studios in e-box colleges. So I feel it's a great honor and deem it as my privilege to propose vote of thanks for this inauguration of startup studios in e-box colleges. First, let me thank Dr. Balagurusamy, former Vice Chancellor of Anna University, for having consented to be the chief guest and inaugurated the startup studios. He delivered the inaugural address also, and he was very particular that whatever products we develop, it must be useful to the society. So this is what so he has been talking about for a long time. When he was the Vice Chancellor of Anna University also, whenever he gets opportunity, he will interact with students, and he'll be very particular that the products that we develop should be of social right responsibility. So that is one thing he will always be talking about. So I'm with due respect to my colleagues, I take this opportunity to emphasize that the products we develop will definitely be useful to the society. So next, I would like to thank Dr. Pradeep Kumar, the Chief Innovation Officer of Amphisoft Technologies, who has great passion for teaching. I think he has given up, very important positions in corporate, and he has founded his company. And as Mr. Sivaramakrishnan pointed out, so definitely those two students are fortunate to have a mentor, a teacher in Dr. Pradeep and Madam Punita. I think I could sense his gratitude for Mr. Pradeep Kumar and Madam Punita. Okay, if you are gifted to have a teacher like this, definitely, I think every student can become an entrepreneur, or every student can become a job creator. Okay, so thank you, Dr. Pradeep Kumar, for inspiring the employees of Amphisoft Technologies and also eBox colleges. I know it will be very tough during this pandemic period to guide the faculty members and also the students of eBox colleges. Not only eBox colleges, all your critics you have to answer, all your detractors you have to answer to them. And I'm sure that you have a lot of guts to face them, and you have a lot of inputs to answer all those criticisms. Thank you once again. So next, I would like to thank Madam Punita in her absentia for guiding us, for inspiring us, and for helping us to deliver the day-to-day activities of eBox colleges. And I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Balagurusamy. I forgot actually, the Chief Learning Officer. I know him for a while, almost for 5 years. He's a workaholic person, and I'm sure that eBox colleges are in the safe hands of Dr. Balagurusamy and Dr. Pradeep Kumar and his team. And I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Balagurusamy also. And I take this opportunity to thank Mr. Pradeep Duraisammy, CEO, and Mr. Sivaramakrishnan, CTO of Amphisoft Technologies, who have neatly deliberated the idea behind the startup studios. I'm very happy to be part of this eBox team. And I would like to thank all the chairpersons of eBox colleges. I think Mr. Shanmugam is here today. And I take this opportunity to thank the chairmen of all other engineering colleges who have consented to be part of eBox colleges. They have confidence in eBox, and they have confidence in Pradeep and Dr. Balagurusamy. I'm sure that they will not let you down. And I take this opportunity to thank the chairpersons of all these engineering colleges. And let me also thank the principals of the constituent colleges of eBox and Dr. Radhakrishnan and Dr. Karthikeyan, and the faculty members of eBox colleges for being part of this wonderful inauguration event. Lord, I think let me thank the students of eBox colleges, and I think I have only one point. Make use of this opportunity. We are fortunate really to have mentors like Mr. Kumar. I think he has given up a successful corporate career, and he is willing to share his knowledge with the students of eBox colleges. I'm sure he was really, and I think his lecture was informative, and I think he correctly called himself a urban farmer. I think thank you, Mr. Kumar, for having shared your wonderful knowledge. I think I am also very much interested in farming. I think I'll have a lot more opportunities to interact with you and take a lot of inputs from you also. And last but not the least, the students of all the eBox colleges for being part of this wonderful event. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all.
So thank you, everyone. We will meet in the respective campuses from Monday. We will try getting the aspirants enrolled, and we'll have a formal kind of induction process to every startup studio. We will begin from next week.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you all. Thank you, Bala.